what are your thoughts on like fathers training their sons and being involved on the management side? Because like you came from a boxing family, but it was different, right? You know, your
Yeah,
mom boxed, your dad boxed, you know, and all of that, but it was still, it wasn't, at least it went from my eyes, it didn't like it was
yeah,
so much of a family affair from a management
sure.
standpoint. So what are your thoughts on
Yeah, yeah. This is interesting because I was talking about it with Holly, my girl, earlier. You know, fathers and sons in the same corner. You know, in boxing. It's quite interesting because my father, you know, he was very hands on, right? And a lot of fighters and fathers can actually, you know, should take notes here. That now that I'm talking about this,
Mhm.
my father was smart enough to step aside, okay, collect this check because you know he's my father. He made me. He groomed me. He brought me up since I was 5, 6 years old in the boxing game, right? So it's fair to give him a cut of a percentage, right? And he's well off, and but he was smart enough, my father, to get the best trainers for me and let them do their thing. With my father overseeing a few things, you know, having a voice, but not being so involved because I believe that when a father's in the corner, it's too emotional, it's too personal. It's
Yeah.
like my father in a way lived his life through me,
Mhm.
you know, and it just didn't work. And so me as the fighter, I told my father, Dad, as much as it hurt, I told him, Dad, you have to step aside because it's the best for me.
Yeah.
And he understood that.
Yeah.
And I was lucky with that. He understood that as long as he got paid, you know, as long as he got his money, it's all
Right.
good. And he made a lot of money. And so, look, it's I'm in between a rock and a hard place here because I don't like getting involved with family and the father, the son, but you know it's just a little friendly advice that I would have for anybody who's in that situation. It's like sometimes the fighter has to be the one to say, hey, you know, just let me do my thing. I love you. I appreciate you. You're gonna get paid, and guess what? It's gonna be better long term because I'm gonna become fucking great.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
become great, and you're gonna get paid, and we're gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what worked for me, and that would be my advice for anybody who's in that type of situation.
Yeah. No, I think it's good advice. And it also, I've heard that so often from
Yeah,
so many people, not necessarily fighters that are in that situation, but people who are in management and promotion and in other situations.
yeah.
Definitely
It's
say,
it's it's it's. I mean, history shows. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't work, you know.
yeah,
And there's ways to go about it, and you know, and give the news to your father or, you know, on how to do things the right way, you know.
yeah.
And I truly feel in my heart that the right thing to do is, you know, they just, you know, step aside. You're
Hmm.
still gonna be involved. You're still gonna get paid, but just let me do my career with trainers who are Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
You know, trainers who have experience, and we can be great together. You know, that's that's the perfect scenario with any father son relationship in the sport of boxing.